I came back from Catholic catechism tonight. I didn't stay for the rosary part, but our subject matter on becoming a Catholic tonight was the Holy Rosary and the Trinity. So a lot of people who don't know anything about Christianity had a lot of questions. My co-host is calling in. I'm doing the introduction, Pianki. So you can hold until, just stay put until I finish in about 30 seconds. Okay?
Okay.
So I see a lot of banter on TikTok, especially about people who really don't have a grasp. They cannot deal with conflict in the world, so they defect to pointing the finger and blaming others. And I see a lot of secular people nowadays trying to unravel what Christian nationalism is, and then diffusing the concept of Jesus according to their belief system. For example, they've minimized the role of Jesus in the world by saying, A, he wasn't a Christian. Duh, Christianity was created from his death and resurrection. Then they say he was a Jew, which we already knew. Then they say that he didn't fulfill the ministry of a Jewish king, which we already know because he came as a humble servant. And then he offered his ministry to Greeks and Gentiles versus the Pharisees and Sanhedrin. So it's a lot of watered down arguing about Christian nationalism, and it's stemming from an anger of people who were like the Charlie Kirk Christians. They were finger pointers and they were mistreating people based on their lot in society, whether they were poor, educated, or of color. And it has created a lot of tension because I think the main thing is people have been trying to figure out what the big deal is with this guy. Now, that was 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's kind of water under the bridge. But now we're discussing the actions of ICE in Chicago, in which they hit a pellet ball into a priest's head in Chicago today, and he was just standing there. He wasn't arguing or trying to fight with them. And I just find the whole presence of ICE misconstrued. If they're looking for just plain old regular criminals, they may pursue that, but it appears to me that the people of Chicago are going to come out and fight and egg them on. And there will, I want a civil war. Let's just have it. Let's have a civil war. Let's have people die for their beliefs instead of bickering about them. And then after all the blood is shed, we'll see who's still standing. So with that, I'm going to defer my comments to Pianki, and Don will be calling in about 10 minutes.
Well, I can't tell you much about the religious part. We were talking earlier today where a court's supposed to decide on the Ten Commandment display that the people of Louisiana voted and said that that's what they want. That it's be displayed in schools, in public places.
I think they did that already near the Alabama courthouse. In another,
that was Alabama. I'm talking about Louisiana.
Yeah, no, it was another state had that ruling.
Yeah, and Louisiana is supposed to be coming up. And the courts keep trying to associate it with religion. Ten Commandments were the moral and ethic codes of society. Those particular societies that adopted. After that, you had the Hammurabi codes, you had the 42 declarations of innocence in Egypt. Actually, there was 147, and they all vary, in many cases, are identical. But the standards and the traditions within a society of people became commandments. You shall not kill, you should not steal, you should not fornicate, and all those kind of things.
And also the Ten Commandments was from Moses to the Jews. It wasn't even part of Christianity back then. the Jews are the foundation. The Judaic religion is the foundation of Christianity, but I think what you're trying to say is you don't think the Ten Commandments should be displayed in public places, and if they are,
I said they should be displayed if people want them. I'm saying they had nothing originally to do with any religion whatsoever. It was the moral and ethic codes of a society and how people, societies, ethnic groups and societies practiced. That's what they told their kids. You shouldn't lie.
I have mixed feelings about it, and I'll tell you why. I don't think it'll harm people to have the Ten Commandments there, but it might harm people who aren't Jews or Christians, because then they're going to feel left out. And people already know they shouldn't commit adultery, they shouldn't steal, they shouldn't lie, they shouldn't kill, they shouldn't bear false witness against their neighbors. And for those who are believers, there is only one God to be worshipped, and thou shalt not worship other gods. That pretty much sums it up.
That's what somebody said. Other ethnic groups and other societies had their own gods. They had a right to do so. Just like Omar Elias got a right in her country to marry her brother. The issue is whether she's married or not. That should.
It was her name's Elon Omar. You mixed it up.
Elon Omar.
Well, now she's married to a white guy. She was married to a Muslim, and now she's married to a white guy.
Well, what I'm saying is that she was married to her brother, and that's the traditions in that country. You can't leave them alone.
John said she married her brother so he could get a green card.
Maybe so. The issue was, is she married?
Well, right now, she had kids with this guy that wasn't her brother. They were married. And then 3 to 5 years later, I don't know exactly how long they were married, maybe 8 even. 3 to 5 years later, she fell in love with like one of her campaign managers or something like that, or some guy she met at North Dakota State when she was a student there, and her other marriage fizzled. So according to Muslim law, she broke neither the Catholics nor the Muslims believe in divorce. So she did break a lot of religious laws by doing that.
Well, but as far as the immigration and immigration and customs services, a question on the form is she married? That's it.
Yeah, John indicated 3 or 4 years ago she lied about something.
Well, when he asked me that question for my wife, was I married?
The one
he asked me, was my wife my sister? And if it was, if it's okay in the country that she come from, that's their business.
I get what you're saying, but I do think we have to chisel the point a little, because I have another Supreme Court case to bring up, but I'm going to discuss this one first. So the thing is a lot of Southerners like Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, they want to bring back Christian values into the forefront because they feel like our society is falling apart. So the question,
if they want to.
Yeah, the question I have is, what if 54% of Louisianans what if 54% want the Ten Commandments up, but 46% don't? Then what do you do?
Well, you put it up where the people that want it, and the rest of you, they don't have to pay no attention to it.
And also, like in the South, I used to live in Virginia and North Carolina. There's a church about once every 3 blocks. So why can't they put the Ten Commandments up on the marquee, and then for the city hall or the county seat or wherever the public government buildings are, just leave it alone? Right?
The people in the state of Louisiana overwhelmingly voted for the Ten Commandments to be displayed.
Okay, if it makes them feel better about the world and they think it's going to reduce crime and increase moral turpitude, go for it. As an individual, like I'm just kind of tired of fighting on every front. Let them have it. If they think it's going to contribute to a better society, go for it. It doesn't hurt me at all. If I was
in Illinois, 2 men can marry.
A lot of states, 2 men can get married, and the Supreme Court ruled in around 2015 or 2016 that all men can, every state can have a sanctioned gay marriage.
Really, that wasn't Supreme Court's business. Marriage was always sanctioned by the church in the United States.
Well, let me segue this into another topic that relates to gay people and trans. So even though it's a conservative justice court at the Supreme Court, they're leaning towards allowing trans people to keep their right to cross over sexes because they stated in a briefing, like a pre-trial briefing, that even if religious people don't agree, the trans people still have a right to change sex. The religious people can't stop them, and that's in the forefront. Well, it's in the forefront of the court this week, and they actually think the conservative court is going to favor the liberals. What do you think?
If a person is grown, they want to change their body, go ahead, but not a child.
But I bet you don't believe in a government paid sex change.
Nope.
And I know for a while the military was allowing government paid sex changes.
That was wrong.
I think it's because they allowed trans and gay people in the military, so they just followed suit with their medical needs. So with that, I'm going to call Don, and he better answer. He better not be in the bathtub. So stay put. I'm adding a call.
Hey.
The show is live.
Hello there, everyone.
Wait, I have to merge you. Just a minute. Okay, Don's on the air, Pianki.
You're mine?
Don is on the air, Pianki. Clean out your ears.
Don is hello, Pianki. Yeah, but I'm on the air. I just got in from work about 45 minutes ago, so I'm kind of just getting my bearings.
You have time to take a bath and eat ice cream already.
I the first, and I have yet to do the latter, but I will.
Okay, so we've already hit a few hot topics. A priest got pelleted with rubber bullets in Chicago for doing absolutely nothing. And Pianki and I are debating. The Supreme Court is deciding whether transgender people can go ahead and get the transition surgery. And they're actually favoring the trans people's side because it's a civil right. And then
that's not the Supreme Court business. A trans person is grown. But they can do what they want, but they shouldn't do it on the taxpayer's dime. That's the problem. Absolutely. You can go to anywhere you want and do whatever you want, but we're as taxpayers not supposed to be paying for their decisions. And that's a decision that they made, and they're going to have to kind of live by it, and it's just that and that. So you've got so many. We've got so many subjects in the pipeline that are.
Well, we're starting out with. We're starting out by winging it because I just got back from catechism class.
Well, how are your eyes?
Today it was terrible, and I forgot my glasses.
No.
As I worked in the school, I worked in the school 3 hours, and I forgot my glasses. So I could see the kids, and I could clean the tables, and I could open their milk. But
Oh gosh.
I was in bad shape.
Well, okay. Well, that's the other answer. That.
So I have good news, Don and Pianki. After working a double shift and only getting 1 hour of sleep and not being able to walk, I'm applying for disability.
Oh my God.
I can't walk. I can't see. I might as well go in the hospital for 6 months.
Well, that's what I have. My ex-daughter-in-law, she's having kidney problems, so she's pretty much living in the hospital or in nursing care. Sorry. So I understand it.
Who's your ex-daughter-in-law?
Alfonso's ex-wife.
That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad.
It is, because she's got to have so much chemo that she can't, staying away is an impediment for everyone.
Is she the mother of one of his kids? What?
No.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons they more or less split. Because she didn't want the kids.
Okay, Don, I have to go to the bathroom quick, so you guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, Pianki, what's up?
If a person want to cut their damn breasts off of their penis, if they are grown adults, just like any other surgery, let them go ahead. And they pay for it. Only reconstruct it or whatever the hell you want. I don't want to pay for it. That's ridiculous. That's not the courts. The courts business anyway.
Well, when you're talking about federal money, it is the court. The federal.
No, I'm talking about just the procedure itself. I'm not talking about using public money, which I don't think should be.
Well, the argument is about money. It's about the funding of the transition. And
well, of course, the federal government should not be funding those type of procedures. There's a lot of things the federal government is not supposed to be doing.
I know, but
according to the Constitution,
that is one of them. If we are paying for it, taxpayers of the federal government, we are the federal government. So we are not supposed to be paying for somebody's decision to change sex. And that's why the Supreme Court is involved. It's not about the actual situation. It's about the funding, where that money is coming from to fund the operations. And that is a Supreme Court responsibility. They have to take care of the federal government. So that's what they're doing. So, I mean, forget.
Well, but you still ain't getting it. First, let's look at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
First place, federal government should have nothing to do with whether a person do a transition or not.
Right.
And if they're not supposed to have anything to do with whether a person do a transition or not, they're not supposed to be funding it.
I agree with that.
But they do fund it.
That's wrong.
Not all the time, Don. I know two people who had.
Jane, stop, Jane. We're talking about federal funding.
I was gonna tell you I had a neighbor who was she was a MC at a gay club in LA, and she paid for the whole transition surgery herself.
And what's she supposed to do?
Right, because
We've been saying that's all right, Jane.
I know, don't get testy with me.
No. We've already discussed that these people can pay for it. That's fine with anybody. That's fine with us. But the thing is that these people go to prison. They go to these doctors who whip up fake Medicare, Medicaid cases, and we're paying for their transitioning. That's not right.
I agree, and like I was telling Pianki, when first Clinton let the secret gays in the military, then they could be openly gay, and then while in the military, some of the gays wanted to transition, and at one time they were being paid to do so.
Right, and that's wrong.
It is wrong.
Well, then that's what we were talking about.
But let's clarify why it's wrong. Is it wrong because God made you a woman or a man, or is it wrong because we live in a religiously based society?
It's the first, and we went over that. Me and Pianki have been over that. So you're late like a mother.
I don't really want to talk about sex and body parts again. It was just on the forefront.
Okay, well, bottom line is that when people want to do it, they do it themselves, pay for it, whatever. But if they are looking to have public pay for it, that's wrong. That's all we're talking about. Next, now you're involved again, so go ahead, take it away.
So I didn't invite Wade on the show tonight. I didn't have time. John is permanently off the show for another Christian derogatory comment. And he will not be allowed back on the show or into my life.
Okay. Next.
Details in the paragraph. I'm becoming more popular on TikTok.
Now, what are you doing on TikTok?
Well, I first went on there when I was running for public office, and now I'm just on there to piss off Republicans and tell people what real Christianity is about.
All right. So you're telling them that Jesus is black and we're all from Africa?
No, I was mainly telling them that pure religious people don't need to infiltrate government doctrine. They can just be a Christian on their own and serve others. And that people who are religious conservatives should not impose their lifestyles on other people. So I do want to discuss John a minute just because he's a parody.
Yeah, you impose your lifestyle on other people. Go ahead.
So I want to only briefly discuss John because I talked to your wife as a consultant. So when somebody tells you, like, let's say, well, you and I have been friends since 1987. I've been friends with Suzette for 5 years. I've been friends with Pianki about 4 to 5 years. I've been friends with John for 24 years. When I first met him, he was real supportive and a kind and nice person. And then, like, over the years, especially since Trump got reelected the second time, he'll tell me stuff like, because I am left-leaning, I'm responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk. He told me I had an eye hemorrhage because I didn't publicly support Donald Trump, and I have Trump derangement syndrome. And then a few times he picked on me about my son, and he's never been a parent. And I think people who use that style of manipulation, who are trying to get something from me that I'm never going to give them, like be forcing them to agree with what he says. So if I don't agree, he's going to start attacking me. That is no longer a friend. Somebody's trying to dial on their phone. So,
my phone is going crazy.
It happened before.
It's happening all the time. I told you, you guys, you don't understand. I probably have this
Conversation.
I'm a influential black man in the West, and so we know that certain electronics may have special monitoring or whatever. That's why I can't be afraid. So that's why
I have a wait a minute, Don. That led me to something else. At church, I talked to a guy from Microsoft. He said that you, me, and Pianki and all that we're already on. Just a minute. We're already on a government hit list, and not because they're gonna do us in, but the shadow of our personality is already present on the internet, meaning that they may not know specifically about us, but our eminent or our imprinted shadow is on the internet. So if I am going to go down because I'm not a Trumpster, I'm going down.
Right. I've been the officer of the NACP for 15 years. My mom was NACP. My mom and dad were Union. We used to see Jimmy Hoffa and Walter Reuther speak. You know, I'm on Interpol, and with my record here, no, you don't even get it.
I'm laughing, okay?
Yeah, I'm on Interpol. I can't go to certain countries. That's just something that I've done, mainly because I have total disdain for people. People are just ignorant, selfish, and...
You mean you told the wrong people off?
Yeah, just like you. They're blind, completely blind. If you go to the Catholic churches in Italy and Spain and England and France, all of them have depictions of the true baby Jesus. They'll tell you, the pastors will tell you, the priests will tell you. That's the true baby Jesus. Motherfucker, baby Jesus.
What does that have to do with you being on the Interpol?
I can't go to certain countries, but that's all I was just saying.
Okay, let me tell you something. I need to
saying that the true baby Jesus is black.
Okay, we're not on that topic tonight, Don.
I don't give a fuck. All I'm saying...
Yes, you do give a blank because it's my show.
But the bottom line, honey, is that we're talking about truth. You're talking about truth and everybody else. Because this is truth. Whether we're aliens or whether we're human beings that evolved, we all emanated from Africa.
I would like to refine this conversation. First of all, the present battle in the United States is not between blacks and whites. It's between ignorant people and educated people.
Nope. Everything is built to stop the black man. Everything. The police were created in the United States to stop slaves from running away.
All right, then why is Michael Jordan a billionaire?
Michael Jordan is a billionaire because he's the most talented monkey out there in the entertainment business. That's what they're using us for. We're their entertainment right now. We used to be their slaves, their workers. They don't want us to work because we work too well. And
why do you guys like to talk so much about slavery? Good God, everybody.
Man, because
Yeah, Pianki, let's shake it up.
You don't understand.
Slavery.
You don't understand what we came from. Okay.
The Bible says blacks are cursed, so they should have not cursed, made the God of the Bible back in the day.
The Bible was written by white men, man. Come on.
No, it wasn't. It was written by Jews with olive skin.
Right, but the bottom line is that those Jews were right there in the Mediterranean, right there in the Nile. You know, the people who hate blacks the most are the Italians and the Greeks. And they are black as fuck.
You're trying to be too ethnocentric.
No, I'm being ethnocentric because I don't have time to categorize the many cultures of Sicily.
All right, I would like to ask you something. I have a lot of African friends who are very happy. They worship God, they have good jobs, they're successful, and they're happy.
Yeah, they like Donald Trump.
No, my son's aunt and uncle live in a $500,000 house. They own their own group home. They take trips to the Caribbean and the Bahamas and anywhere, wherever the hell they want to go. They worship God. They tithe their offerings, and they never bitch about America.
If I had a little baby, I would name him Ice.
Ice?
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. I'd name it ISIS. The only thing this show is proving how different we all are.
Yes.
So I'm a white person that gave up my white privilege to go live among the blacks, take low-paying jobs, and serve my neighbors. But I also had addictions that harm me. And now I'm just trying to survive. And I'm actually doing a pretty good job. But the thing is I don't think that everything that people do in life can be blamed on somebody else. I don't like that mentality. But I do think that the Trump administration is trying to make enemies out of certain people. Like, if you don't publicly present their moral principles. Now, J.D. Vance does not scare me. He actually recently became a Catholic. Sometimes he says ignorant things, but for the most part, he does have respect for other cultures. He married an Indian woman. He doesn't provoke me at all. But
what did he say that's ignorant?
One time he made a crack about women that was off.
Like what?
Something about the fact that once you have a baby, you should stay at home and not work.
Yes, you should raise a kid.
Well, not everybody can afford to. Not everybody's married.
Well, then go to work.
Okay, this was like way back in the election period a year ago. I don't have his words memorized. I do think there's a lot of... I would like to focus tonight on the conflict we have just as regular people. See, Don's not on social media, so he doesn't see the intensity of the fight. Like, there's one Caucasian college-age kid on there. All he does all day is interview Trumpsters who can't answer rational questions about Trump's policy decisions. So what he's basically exploiting Trump people. Then we have people like Harry Sisson, who replays all of Donald Trump's late night videos. Recently, Trump posed himself as like a Superman in Chicago, like with a cape, and J.D. Vance was a drummer, and they were going to take over the city of Chicago. So like he thinks that's fascinating when really it's just a trigger. Okay, Don's calling back in. His call dropped. Just a minute. Don?
Yeah.
Your call dropped. Don's back on the air.
Who is?
Don, you don't even know who you are anymore?
I thought you said John. I was going to say, after all of that I heard before they cut me off.
So, okay, Don, I'm kind of glad your call dropped because you were going in the wrong direction in life.
Well, I tell you what, Trump is kicking ass, and I'm happy.
All right, I'll be like that white guy on Instagram and ask you why. What policies are working and which ones aren't?
He's working very diligently on the removal of illegals. You're in the country illegally, you're a criminal. ICE is doing a pretty good job. I wish they would stop shoving and would start hitting people with those batons.
Why can't they just do it in a civil way without acting like they're in a movie?
It's those protesters that's acting uncivil.
Not every city. Well, I heard it. I do have some information. In Portland, Oregon, if you hashtag Portland on TikTok and show videos of protesters, the people who now own TikTok, that rich millionaire named Larry somebody, I think it's Larry Ellison, they'll untag the word Portland and then your video will disappear into the annals of time.
And that's how they control you. And that's why I don't fuck with them.
Did you guys know that one of Trump's CEO buddies bought TikTok from the Chinese?
All these people are people. That's the fight. You got these white people who don't believe they're humans. They're aliens. They truly believe they're aliens, and they're trying to manipulate humans. And they'll go as far as they can. They break the law, and they break it until the law has to change. That's their modus operandi. And
Don, where would we be at without white people? White people have done so much. Africa would have no sewers.
All right, Elon Musk has publicly come out against Trump. So what category does he fit in now?
He's an investor.
He's not coming out against Trump. It's a ruse.
He was for 3 weeks.
Really, that was 3 weeks.
Elon Musk is an investor.
Yeah. He don't give a fuck.
That's all he is.
Yep. So, you got to remember Donald Trump was a Democrat. So people don't understand that he changed his party simply because of finances and opportunity. Musk did the same thing. These people that's what you call carpetbaggers. And they're coming into certain areas of the country. He did New York and D.C. and Florida. He's a carpetbagger. He goes wherever the property's cheap, buys it up. But he runs his whole family. They're all carpetbaggers.
I have an idea.
What?
Why don't one of us run for public office as a conservative and then a week before the election change all our viewpoints after we get all the donations and say, sorry, I'm a Democrat in the wool and vote for me anyway?
Then you'd be a dead candidate. You would have so many upset.
Where would we be at without Galileo?
Galileo?
Yeah.
Galileo, yes. Where would we be at without Galileo?
Well, he was an astronomer, so what are you trying to say?
We wouldn't have no glass to drink water from. We would be drinking from gourds.
Somebody would have invented it. Galileo just happened.
If I would have been a white man.
If I were a white man down in the moon.
Now, what?
I think.
Now, Pianki ain't listening to what I said, though.
So what's the point, Pianki, that...
Italians and Greeks are black.
There's been inventors all over the world.
Go ahead, Pianki.
The Iranians.
I've seen a picture. I've seen a video of some Africans, some Bambi tribe, Bamba or something, and they had a bottle of Phantom horn. They didn't know how to screw the damn cap off. They took the knife to punch the hole in the bottom.
That's a good way to do it. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat.
And these people supposed to build America.
Okay, so I have a question. The Persians created algebra. There's been a lot of inventions all over the world by other people of color. I don't think you should dish your own black race.
No, that's what people say. I'm just telling you, it don't happen. It didn't happen.
What did it happen? It happened. It happened 100%. I don't know.
They said blacks invented the damn automobile. Come on, man.
Yeah, we invented the cotton gin. Same.
A black man invented the cell.
He wasn't black.
A black man invented the cell phone.
White people steal stuff from people of color, black people.
Well, if you're gonna say that, there's no need to discuss it no further.
Benjamin Franklin, you don't even know. He would not have invented the light bulb if it wasn't for the.
Benjamin Franklin was a good inventor.
He was a crazy man. He was a statesman who was all this. He was Bernie Sanders of his time.
He was a good inventor. Benjamin Franklin. One of the signees of the Constitution.
He was a woman.
He could write at least.
Okay, Pianki or Don, look up who invented the cell phone. I think it was a black man.
Probably. We've invented most everything. We've invented the traffic lights.
I was an AM radio operator, and we were making phone calls through repeaters before there were cell phones.
Right, and man.
And black folks invented all this shit. How the hell they so damn poor?
Because we're not looking to monetary gain. We're looking to expand civilization.
They ain't gonna expand. How you gonna expand civilization and you abort 25 million in the womb?
Because that's just a recent phenomenon, and that is going to.
It's been going on over 30 years.
Well,
actually about 50 years.
Well, that's where the 25 million comes from.
Henry Sampson, a black man, created the first cell phone in 1971.
Right.
Oh,
Look it up. Look it up.
No.
So Wikipedia is stuff that anyone can add that to Wikipedia.
No.
He kind of looks like this famous actor.
Jane, that's your problem. You're taking things too personally that they're affecting you.
I ain't taking nothing personally.
Pianki knows good and well that if Wikipedia says that somebody black invented something.
Well, where was this black man's laboratory?
Okay.
Black person's laboratory.
There's a person.
He didn't have no laboratory. He was using somebody else's stuff.
All right, listen, Pianki. Every time I have to look something up on the internet, I risk the chance of you guys going off air because I have to change Windows.
You do?
Yeah. So if I change Windows on my LAN computer, I have 2 listeners right now. They're gonna stop listening if you guys get cut off.
Why do you want to do it now, Jane?
That's right.
I don't have to do it now. I just did it quick to try to prove my point.
Well, you don't have to do it now.
Because one time I was teaching a class at an interracial neighborhood, and there was a printout of black inventors. And Don's right. A black person created the stoplight. And another one.
Black person created no stoplight.
Yes, they did.
They had cars in Europe before they even settled the United States.
Well, maybe they created the modern stoplight.
Right. It's not the.
They didn't create no modern stoplight. If they didn't create the old stoplight.
All they had was lights, man. They didn't have no stoplights in Europe.
They did have stoplights in Europe.
No.
They had streetcars in Europe before America was settled.
They also had like they had oil lanterns in the streets, like during the days of Jack the Ripper.
If they had streetcars, they had electrical generating stations.
Right. Because the streetcar.
Europe was a modern city. They had buildings, they had sewage systems, they had factories, they had all those things.
You guys are wearing me out, man.
In Chicago, them old brownstones, you had the arch buildings, you had multi-story buildings, all that existed in Europe before America was even settled.
Damn it, we're talking about motherfucking stoplights.
And they had stoplights because they had vehicles.
Okay.
The German who invented the automobile.
The damn thing about those stoplights.
Pianki, why don't you paint white paint on your skin and write a book, White Like Me?
I'm just telling you how things are.
Okay. I'm gonna write. Can I read you guys something about Henry Sampson? Henry Sampson was a black engineer. Okay, I'm taking you guys.
He's taught not to believe the truth. That's a part of his.
It ain't got to be about the truth. It's using common sense, man.
I took you guys off speaker so I could tell the audience about Henry Sampson. Wait! Henry Sampson was an American engineer, inventor, and film historian who created the gamma electric cell in 1971, a device with the main goal of generating auxiliary power from the shielding of a nuclear reactor. He wrote books like Blacks in Black and White, a source on black films, The Ghost Walks, a chronological history of blacks, Show Business from 1865 to 1910, and a couple other chronology books. So he did have some kind of invention about creating an auxiliary cell phone from gamma rays. And it was in no white man's lab.
Where was he working? Who was he working for?
It didn't say in Wikipedia.
Well, he was using some equipment that was in a white laboratory.
I'm just going to let you win because I don't want to argue anymore.
No, I'm just telling you like it is.
Guess what I invented? I invented the mute button for gnarly radio hosts. Don, are you still there? I think Don's call dropped again. Let me check.
That's the cell phone. You can say he invented.
No, he's still on it. What did I say?
Nobody's taking anything away from someone, but you got people that come along, don't know what they're talking about, will plagiarize, put people in places that they never were.
Okay, well, this guy was instrumental in creating a beginning type object.
It's just like they say that blacks wasn't taught to read and write. Well, if they weren't taught to read and write, how did they invent all these things? To invent something requires you to have a knowledge of reading and writing.
Well, I like Frederick Douglass is one of my favorite heroes. So he taught himself. I'm pretty sure a white person gave him his first book, but
if they use calculus in the utilization of gamma rays, then you got to give the credit to Galileo. He invented calculus.
Then why don't the famous black baseball player who hit a bunch of home runs?
Well, that's true.
You can't take his talent away from him.
Nobody's taking Josh Gibson. He's a good baseball player.
I hate when you and Don argue about race. You know,
arguing about facts.
There's
I
talented
built
people.
bridges.
There's talented
built
people in
bridges.
every race. There's
I built bridges in multi-story office buildings in St. Louis and Southern Illinois. I did not invent bridges.
Okay, I saw one of your videos you sent me about a building you helped make. Right?
Yeah, so people say these things and they put it out of context because they don't know how it works and what it takes to work. Like they say, Banneker laid out Washington, D.C. No one man can lay out a community.
Washington, D.C. is a pain in the ass, whoever built that. Everything flows out from one center building, and I spent a part of a summer there, and I got lost every time that was back before GPSs. Like, I got lost going from one place to the other all the time.
And GPS is an impediment because your adversaries, if they knock out your GPS, everything stops working. Your ATMs, your clocks.
I found out tonight that you should not use GPS chat because it has some kind of subtlety in there that, like, if a student is in a class and they have to write a 20-minute essay on, let's just say, light bulbs, the GPS chat tells people how to think. Like, you can't rely too much on AI technology. Teachers don't like that. They want kids to think of things themselves. Don, I don't know what happened to Don, but he's off the grid. So, Pianki, tell me what's been on your mind lately.
I'm tired of these judges coming up with these ridiculous decisions, messing around in areas that they have no business messing around in.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, did you guys hear about that female judge house in South Carolina that got burned to the ground?
No. I read about that.
Yeah, they think it's because she made some kind of delay on one of Trump's policies. And her husband got injured in the fire. That was a direct attack by, as John would say, all the people causing the violence are liberals. Well, it's not. Someone burned a house down because they were mad at a liberal judge. Do you guys want me to look the story up? Here, hold on a minute. While I'm looking it up, John, Don, can you tell me what you've been doing the last 3 days?
Yeah, basically, we've been trying to put together our next event, which is going to be for the NACP, and we're not sure what it's going to be. Maybe a candidate forum. I put those together usually, but it can be almost anything. I have no idea, and we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, other than that, nothing really is going on.
Okay, the blaze that happened in South Carolina on a pretty lakefront property, it did 1.5 million damage to a beach home. They can't pinpoint exactly if it was a politically motivated crime, but it was pretty suspicious. It was against the home of Circuit Court Judge Diane Goodstein in a gated community. I'm just trying to find what ruling she made that made everybody mad. I believe it was some kind of delay. She was walking her dog when it happened. Well, I'll have to get it for next week because I can't look it up. Okay?
Okay.
So we've been going on the air now for not quite an hour. I want to talk about something before we wrap up in 15 minutes. Who else would like to talk about a hot topic or what's bothering them? And I know that in Israel now they're going to the other side of the country, the West Bank, and they're arresting adult males and displacing them in another part of Gaza. I thought it was maybe the West Bank. I can't remember. And Israel has also launched 440 attacks on Lebanon in the last year, and only the Hamas and the Hezbollah have only been responsible for one incident in Lebanon in the last year, and the Israelis are persecuting the regular citizens. One guy lost all his pomegranate trees, which he used to harvest for the Israeli government, and now he can't even sell it to them because they ruined his property. So
Well, I don't like to talk about Israel.
I don't want to talk about him either. I'm just saying that things are not slowing down there, and no one's convincing Israel to act normal. They
Those,
did.
Protesters in Chicago, it just goes to show you had Pritchard said that the deployment of National Guard was unconstitutional. You had the mayor say that the deployment of National Guard was unconstitutional. You had the Chicago police in a news conference say that the deployment of National Guard was constitutional.
All right. Well, I think the main point is that the average, let's say I was in charge of Department of Homeland Security like Kristi Noem. Chicago didn't all of a sudden appear as a crisis situation. Yes, they have a high murder rate, but for a high-ranking federal official to go in there in a warlike manner to attack citizens is abnormal.
Well, our concern is not the crime rate in Chicago. The concern is that you got people that are attacking federal officials and agents and trying to destroy federal buildings. That's what the National Guard is doing to prevent that.
They're doing it because they're mad. They just didn't do it out of the blue. They're mad that they're there.
The National Guard don't give a damn if the people in Chicago shoot each other. That's their business. That's the business of the Chicago police, which they don't do a good job overall.
Well, they can't. They can't keep up. And there's too many criminal. Okay, I'm watching a show on Netflix called Hightown. The criminal.
Chicago, the police are the gang.
Oh man, come on.
New York, they are the gang.
Oh
man, St. Louis is worst of them all. St. Louis
ain't no police in Chicago shoot no 15,588 Negroes.
No,
they shot Laquan McDonald.
Yeah, they shoot up 1,500 of them.
15,588 in 4 years with 2,460 some odd blacks killed. Those were blacks that was doing that.
How many are officer-involved shootings that it includes?
None.
Bullshit.
It was none. It was none.
Yeah.
Show me one. Go. I want your sources to be the Chicago Tribune, the Chicago Sun-Times, and ABC7. Show me one in that 4-year period where a white police officer killed somebody. And if they did, I didn't count it.
Laquan McDonald.
You sure didn't count it.
I didn't count McDonald.
All right, I want to tell you, we did a show 5 years ago on Holman Square. The Chicago police would bring people there. They would hold them in this secret little building for 5 or 6 days, not charge them. not notify the family or anybody they were being arrested, not giving them a free phone call. And they would hold them in that holding tank for days on end, and they would deny average citizens their civil rights.
We didn't count them. Hell, in Louisiana, you got 8 young black men that's been implicated in the killing of a black man in Louisiana, in Hammond, Louisiana. They just messed their life up. The oldest one is 24. The youngest one is 14. It just threw their lives away. Louisiana does not play.
My nephew is teaching. He teaches substitute teaching in Central Texas, and he also works at a juvie hall. And an 11-year-old killed his parents.
Those are abnormal. I'm talking about normal people, the things that go on, like smash and grab. Can't have nothing.
I think this is a terrible country. Like up here in Minnesota, in northern Minnesota, people either die by hit and run accidents. This trucker from the south hit an 11-year-old girl. He killed her because he wasn't paying attention. There's always there's also collision accidents up in the woods, like in Virginia, Minnesota. Like people die for the most ridiculous reasons up here. They die falling off an ATV. They die from campfires that are burning because some dumbass didn't put the fire out. All these deaths are unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, people they get comfortable and don't think. You get into a habit. You get, used to something. You think you can skateboard over a ramp. You think you can take the ATV down, a 10-degree bank. There's all kinds of things that people do that are just plain stupid. They do more than they can think. And that's why I drive a 370Z, because I know that I can do whatever I want. So that's basically that.
One of my friends died falling off an ATV.
It happens a lot. We live over here where people do ATVs, and hunt and fish all the time, and that's what we do. And we are in ATVs in all kinds of situations, and they're great, they're fantastic, but you have to be very careful.
Yeah, apparently there's some risk involved because when my friend fell off the ATV, I think he must have hit a tree branch because he was on a prairie, like he wasn't on a hill or anything. He just hit a branch or something.
Yeah, no, they're very dangerous, and there's some go-karting out here and all kinds of things that we do a lot of mountain bike items, but people here do a lot of mountain biking. We have mountain bike races in the mountains. But mountain bikes are made for mountains.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, we're the recreation center pretty much of the United States. If you come to Lake Tahoe or the surrounding areas, we have everything you could ever want. We have water, we have air, we have more or less fire. If you talk about the fires in the
I've been.
No water.
We are right now. We're very good on water.
Okay.
I've been there 3 times, to see you.
Yeah. No.
How much is your water bill a month?
You know what I'm talking about. My water bill is about $30 a month, and that's still pretty reasonable. We've been here for a long time.
$30?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
Why? What's wrong?
I live in the land of 10,000 lakes, and mine's like $90 a month.
Well,
Holy shit!
They're probably polluted, and you can't.
That's because of them,
No, they're not.
That's because of them Somalis.
There you go.
I'm not. There's only like 5 Somalis in Duluth. Hello.
They take baths in the river, so you got to be careful.
You guys are both prejudiced.
And then they send the water back to Mogadishu. They need it bad over there. So
Do you remember the days where white and black people couldn't swim in the same swimming pool?
Oh, yes, I do remember the day. I never experienced it, but I remember going down south and seeing black kids in one pool and white kids in another. And I was wondering what the hell that problem. And then I saw doing some traveling North Carolina, I believe. I saw some drinking fountains and bathrooms, if I remember. Kentucky, I think.
That sucks. By the way, Pianki and Don, Minnesota has the cleanest air and water in the country.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, for one thing, an hour north of Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's all woodlands. Like it's woods. Like we're in a remote area.
Yeah, well, that's not like the South. The South, Louisiana, Missouri, those places are dump grounds in the United States. That's where we started dumping, New Mexico, those places start dumping all the radioactive materials that we wouldn't take here in Nevada. And so, the ports down there are some of the most polluted ports in Texas, Louisiana, in the world.
I think in New Mexico, there's a place. It's not called Mount Trashmore, but it's something like that.
They signed up for it. They getting paid handsomely by the federal government, but all that stuff is going in their land, and who knows what's going to happen because I'd say it's 50,000 years for radiation to dissolve. So I don't know.
One of my professors wrote a book on it, Larry Becker. He wrote a book on the waste of the dump site. It might have been Nevada, I don't remember, but how it was created, who paid for it, and stuff like that.
Right. Well, guys gotta be careful when you drink ginger ale. It makes you fart. Okay.
What does that have to do with the price of butter?
That's what I'm talking about. Climate justice. I'm talking about those farts are emitting all of that methane in the air, and so you're killing us every time you fart,
So Larry Becker, my professor, I'm looking up what the name of the book was. Now I'm probably going to get all these other goofy authors. Here, just a minute.
We don't really care. But...
Well, I know when I lived near Virginia Beach, they had a huge waste site out by Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach is one of the fucking most polluted places in the fucking world. That place has military bases there. They have natural gas pipelines going through there. They've got there's something else that is chemicals for military and everything coming through there, being emitted, dropped into the water, things like that. Virginia Beach is a pit.
They had a giant garbage dump right before you got to the beach, like 5 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. I think it was something like Mount Trashmore too. I can't think of the name. I remember when I was a Navy wife out there.
Yeah, well, but bottom line, everybody should come west. They should move west because they have no idea what they're living in. Louisiana, Texas, they're just dumps.
I think Nevada has a couple of waste sites.
Who does?
Nevada.
Yeah, we do, but it's not as bad as those places. We don't have a port. Airports and shipping lanes, shipping ports are some of the most polluted places in the world. people who live near them get more cancers. That's what San Pedro was about. I was able to study those folks down there with the gas emissions from petroleum plants and everything. Those people are far more likely to get cancers than anybody else.
Nevada is polluted from the days of Howard Hughes.
Yeah, Nevada is polluted from the nuclear bombs. We're a test site. We're the most polluted place in America for radiation.
Who, Nevada?
Yeah, it's all in our air and our water. You have to be careful of where you live because that's why we're 80% BLM, Bureau of Land Management only, because we cannot build in Nevada. In a lot
over red line areas.
We cannot build in the entire center of our state. And our state is the fourth largest state in America.
Those are the red line areas.
Right. And so you can't build. So we have all this land that's radioactive, and much of it is only 60 miles away from Vegas, which is why they're crazy. And you got, people who are in St. George, Utah, and up towards Flagstaff, New Mexico, Taos, New Mexico. Those people are all just brain dead. They really are just walking around zombies because they've been breathing, living in the soil, eating food from the soil, cows, for decades.
Guess what I did a paper. Guess what I did a paper on at Cal State Northridge. No, I did it on the Brownsfield, the toxic dump sites of Los Angeles, and they built a high school right past downtown on a toxic dump site. And they never could. In the end, they never could open the high school because it had too much toxicity.
And that's what white people do. They'll build something that's immaculate on a toxic dump. Schools are built primarily on landfills or land that has been decimated somehow or another because it's cheap property. They don't care about the kids.
Hey, where would we be at without white folks? We wouldn't have no sewers.
We would be in way better shape.
No.
That's what's happening in Portland and Seattle and some of these other places with protests. These are white people protesting because
that's the white people that protest and they dumbasses. But when it comes down to
that's what I've been saying.
But when it comes down to making the Western Hemisphere the iconic thing that it is, it's due to a lot of white people.
Because they know how to impersonate.
That's right. And I see now you're telling us now you're being truthful.
They steal. They're not smart.
Did you know that the U.S. GDP is $30 billion?
And it's gone. Yeah, it used to be $36 billion. So that's something.
And China's second with $19 billion.
Yeah, they're the second highest.
And guess who?
You have to be proud of your country. And there are so many.
You don't have to be.
It's all eliminated how we.
Your phone is infiltrating us again.
I understand that, and I don't know, what I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it.
So I was going to tell you guys something. Just remember the imprint of your presence on the internet is your shadow. It's not the actual you.
I don't give a fuck. I am impervious to anything, to anything. And right now, I'm in a situation or a spot in my life that whatever I say, it has to be a truth, or else I wouldn't be saying it. I don't have much time left here on Earth. So whatever I'm saying or whatever I'm doing is going to be for the betterment of me, my family, and mankind in God's name. So I'm just doing what I need to do right now to make my life comfortable in the future. And that, I talk to people all day long, every day. And today was a couple of people who were talking about regrets and how they wish they had done something on the house or taking care of this kid or not giving money to another kid, some things like that. And they didn't. They admit that they don't look for the future. They're just living like dogs every day.
Well, what are they going to do to What are they going to do to rectify it? What are they going to do to fix their problems?
Connect here. Whose fault is that, though, Don?
Don's,
What do you mean?
Don, you're making secret phone calls on the air again.
No, you don't.
The CIA operatives are on our line. Okay, the whole phone call died. Good night, people. Thanks for joining us. We got a lot of listeners. Ah, shit. All the calls dropped. Can I end the show now? I want to go take a hot bath. I'll see you. I'll call you next week.
All right, sweetheart.
Pray for me.